to treat the illness, and to treat her pain. And we get that because our job is to claim the good, what we want and what we see, and Spirit says yes. But here's the good that you claim when you are in pain. I am pain-free. That's the good you claim. I am pain-free. I am whatever the good is that you're looking for. That's how we state it. That's our job, to claim what it is that we want. God's job, universe's job, George's job is to provide it, is to get it done. God is source and supply. We don't get to do God's job. And what this woman is saying is that I want to be pain-free using holistic methods. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. But whatever it is you have, if your claim is, I want to be pain-free, why then do you think that you need to limit how God brings it? Because God brings it in the way that it needs to come. Do you get that? Our job is to claim the good, not to say how it could come. An example would be if I say, I want more dollars in my bank account. And I have said that. I claim that, and I do get that. But if I say, I want more dollars in my bank account by writing a book, all right, that's great. I can write a book. It may or may not bring it. But I have now eliminated every other way that Spirit could bring money to me. Do you know I have had just friends? I went to dinner one evening. I thought I was going to dinner. It was just great. We had a wonderful time. And when I left, my friends gave me a card. And I didn't read it till I got home. I thought they said, hey, thanks for coming or whatever. And there was a check in there for X amount of dollars. I didn't ask for that. I was shocked. I mean, wait a minute, you're going to feed me and pay me for coming? I'm loving this. But do you understand? You don't limit the way that Spirit works. You just claim the good and allow it. And what happens is if you say how it has to come, you won't see it when it actually does come. You can't see it because you're looking for it someplace else. So that's number one, is what we believe. There is one source of infinite supply, and we are connected. We are one with each other and source, God, George, all that we need. We have direct revelation of truth when we ask for it. When we ask for it. We co-create our lives. How? By just what I said. We claim and declare what the I am is. That's all we get to do. And then we stand in faith, waiting for it, assured that it will show up, and allow Spirit to work it through our lives. All of us are Spirit in action. Do you understand that? All of us are God's hands, feet, mind, all of it. We are all colluding to have God's love, manifestation, all of that show up in each other's lives. That's what we do. By following the whispers of Spirit, we are working God's magic on earth. We are working the love. That's what we get to do. If we just claim it and allow God to do God's work, and that is to manifest our lives. That is the law of the universe. You put it into the law, it has no choice but to bring it back to you. That is the law. That's what happens. When we say we stand in faith, I'm not talking about blind faith. In my previous religious history, one of the issues that I had was I was not allowed to ask questions. I'm a very curious person. Not only am I curious, but the way my mind works, this is just me personally, and I think other people probably do the same, but the way my mind works is, if you say something, I'm just going to automatically, I listen to you, I hear you, I believe what you're saying, until it doesn't follow. Right? I don't, like you used a word that I don't get, or you're gone down a path I'm not familiar with, and I'll just simply stop you. I'm sorry, tell me what you mean by that. Could you please explain that to me? What does that mean? I don't think there's any other book in the history of the world that has so much to be explained as the Bible does. It just, right? And I think it was written that way so that over the millennium that we'll be using it, we can interpret it the way we need to interpret it for our times. Yeah? How God speaks to you, because we have direct revelation, wherever the words come from. Whether you read words in the Bible or whether you read a poem Wherever the direct revelation comes from everything, right? That's what we get to do. But my historical religion didn't allow that. It didn't allow asking of questions. What they said was, time and time again, you don't have enough faith. That's why you're asking questions. No, I'm confused and lost, and you don't have the answers. That's why I'm asking the questions. We get to do that. The disciples asked Jesus questions all the time. All the time. They sat around talking and asking questions. What do you mean by this? What do you mean? What's mine to do? We get to ask questions. Why would spirit and mind, why would creation give us a mind to think and then say, shut down the questions? Just follow me. That's not what it is. So what faith is, I believe that faith is built on your personal experience with God. Okay? It is built. And every time you have an experience of claiming something and it comes and it manifests, you recognize now, you have a source to remember how that went. What was the process? And I can guarantee you the process is the same every time. You claim something, you said, I am. First of all, you had to have a question or a claim. Because sometimes you don't really know what to claim. There's like a lot of confusion and chaos in your mind. You don't quite know what to claim. So the ask could be, what's going on here, George? What do I need to know? That's my claim. What do I need to know? Just by asking the question brings it to me. Or you might know what it is and you claim it. You claim that. You claim the good. So that's what we get to do. And when I claim that, standing in faith, because I know whenever I have asked a question or claimed something, it has always appeared. It has always appeared. What we have a problem with is rushing it, saying, well, it's been 10 minutes. Yeah, it's been 10 days. Well, however much the time is, the time is relative, because there is no time in spirit, right? If we are all the hands, the eyes, the activities of God, I don't know what needs to be moved around to bring to me what I need, right? You don't know what needs to be moved around, who needs to do whatever it is God is whispering in their ears to do for it to finally reach you. But stand in faith, knowing that you have been heard. It goes into spirit, into the law of the universe, and it will be manifested. It will be manifested. And when you have those experiences, and you don't have to have a big lightning bolt. We're not waiting for Michael to start blowing his horn and come down on some silver cloud and say, here's the answer. That's not what we're looking for. That's not what comes. Sometimes it just comes quietly. Sometimes it's as simple as take an umbrella when it's clear blue skies outside. And you say, umbrella? I don't see any clouds. No, thank you. Hour later, you're standing in the middle of a downpour. Because you didn't hear it. You didn't listen, you didn't take it. But you heard it. You knew that. You can reflect back and say, oh, I was told, I didn't listen. So now you know. A piece of the process is listen and take action on what you've been told, on spirit responding to you. Your spirit responds and you don't take action. How's it going to work? How's it going to work? So that's how we build faith. So my story of building faith, I have a favorite guru. I've talked with him about him for a long time, and it's really interesting. When I was writing this talk today, it came to me that I actually met this person at the same time I found or discovered, walked into Science of Mind, Center for Spiritual Living in San Diego. At the same time, I was going to a convention that featured Brian Tracy, who's a speaker, and he's my mentor. I've never met him, but I read all of his books. His books are yellowed, and they're just written all in. I love it. And his book is called Maximum Achievement. It is a business book. How to reach your goals, how to be successful, how to plan, all of that. But what intrigued me by this book was that he uses goal setting by using universal laws, by understanding and then using universal laws. Universal laws are there whether you understand them or not. Gravity is there. I use this a lot because this is the law of the physical world that we all understand, that gravity sucks. No matter, right? I mean, if you step off a building, you're going down because gravity sucks. That's its job. Okay? And so the law is the same way of spiritual laws. The three that are most effective for me that I use all the time is the law of cause and effect, meaning for every effect, meaning every manifestation, whether it's a physical manifestation or a spiritual manifestation, whether it's something you ask for, it's a mind situation, a heart, it doesn't matter. For every effect, every manifestation in your life, there is a direct cause. There is something that caused it to happen. Okay? And so you can look in why is that so important? Is because you get to look at your life at any point, and you can see if you like what is happening, how did it get here? And continue to do that, because the law always works. If you look at your life and you don't like what's happening, how did it get here? And stop doing that. Right? The law always works. That's why the law of cause and effect is so exciting to me, because it gives me control over my life. I can look and see what's going on. My life isn't happening outside of me. It's happening with me. I'm co-creating it. The law of attraction says that we attract into our lives the people, the places, the things, the circumstances that are in line with our dominant thinking. Right? One of the best ways for us to get what we are dominantly thinking about, and we talk about this a great deal, and I will always talk about it, is when we explore what our core values are. Your core value is your dominant thinking everywhere you go. Whether you're thinking about it or not, it is who you are. It's what you believe. And that is a dominant thought for you. So a core value could be love. I want to treat everyone with love. I want to be authentic and show up as my true self. Even if it's ugly, even if I think people won't understand it, I want to show up as myself in every situation, whatever your core values may be. So you're going to attract then people into your lives who are doing the same thing, who are in line with that same thought. They are authentic. They want to be nothing but love, whatever your core values are. So the law of attraction, and then finally the law of focus or concentration, meaning whatever you think about all day long, whatever you focus on is what comes into your life. Which is why it's, again, important that we know who we are and we find our core values. Because if you are focusing on, and I'm reading a very difficult book. I'm just about finished, Jim. It's still tough. It's called Educated, My Stars. But this is a person, and it helps me to understand how, as we are growing up, there are things in our lives, as children, that we're taught by our family of origin, whoever that may be, whether you're adopted or whether it's your birth parents, it doesn't matter. But your family of origin, that you are taught things that you believe is the Holy Grail. And not until you're around other people and you see how they live do you realize, oh, that's just this family. That's not necessarily, and it could be good. It could be good for you. Good meaning good for you. And it might not be. You might find something else that works better for you. That certainly has been the case with my religion of origin. It served me well until it didn't. And then I could ask other questions and find another tribe that did allow questions and all of this sort of thing. So the focus when I found that was, I want to find something that serves me. I want to find a tribe that serves me. That was my focus. Here's what happened, though. This is a very good example. What I said was, I want to find something that focuses me. So what I need, I'm telling God what to do, is a more progressive Baptist church. Yeah, that's a joke. All right? So you can see I wandered around in the wilderness for about 10 years on that one. Till I finally let it go and said, I don't care where it is. Bring me a tribe that works for me. And that's when I walked into CSL. Okay? That's when I let go of my deciding what it's going to look like and God letting it show up, Spirit George, the way it needed to because of what I was asking for. All right? So the law of focus and attraction. As I understand, we use and we build our experience, I saw the process for personal joy and happiness. As you declare and you manifest, you begin to see your process, how you co-create your life with Spirit, and the process for you for personal joy and happiness. One of the things that Brian Tracy said, and it struck me, sometimes things are said and doesn't resonate. And that's okay, because it means if it doesn't resonate, it's not for you. Everything that's said in the room isn't for you. Whatever resonates is for you. And so what he said that resonated for me was, we are happy to the degree We feel in control of our lives, right? Meaning we don't feel like there's something out there controlling our lives. We get to decide. And the more I understand, even if it's not showing up exactly the way I know I called it in, and I know I can change it. So I'm in control of what happens. And that's how we know that we are happy. What do we control? That's the important question, isn't it? Because in this time right now of COVID, it feels like everything is out of control. What do we get to do? Matthew 24:6 says this. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things come to pass, but the end is not yet. Walking in the Presence, Living the Science of Mind book tells us spiritual power is of no particular value at all until we use it. Do you understand that? We can know all kinds of things. We can get it intelligently. But if we don't use it, it is of no particular value. We must not only be conscious of this power, we must be actively conscious of it, right? So we know it, and it's activated, meaning we follow it. How do we do it? How do we do that? That's always a question to me. Again, it's a practical spirituality. It's no point in me telling you about what we believe, what our principles are, if I don't then share with you what I know for me, and hopefully it works for you if it resonates, how we get there. So how we get there? Daily reminders of who you are and what you want. This comes in the form of affirmations. I am guided and directed into right action. That is an affirmation you can use. I am guided and directed into perfect right action. Right action meaning the actions of truth and love. That is perfect. Divine rightness. I'm guided by that. I know, in my heart and my mind, I know there is an intelligence within me, within each of us. This is the I am. Making my way, what is mine to do, making it perfectly clear, plain, and immediate. If I hear it, I have to move on it. There's something in me that makes it perfect, plain, and immediate. There's something in all of us that we get to do that. Divine guidance is a universal law. The use of it is a decision we make. It's the deliberate use of it. We use it all the time. We use gravity all the time. The deliberate use of it is a decision that we make. So there was some dreariness happening for me. I teach classes pretty much every day. I think Jim and I were talking like 3 days last week, and we got into one class and we're like, listen, if it's just you and me, we can hang up. Because we've been together all week, and so we're done. But there was one class. There was one class that I was about to do, and it was really wearing on me. It was really dreary, and I didn't want to. Although I believe in what the principles that are in the book is wearying to read. Right? And so I was thinking about the class. I'm like, I got to turn this class around. What am I going to do? And so I just prayed, Spirit, how do I make this class more valuable for me and for the members who are coming? Who are coming? So I turned it over, and I let go of this tiny struggle. It's not a big struggle. It's a small struggle. I wasn't happy. Wasn't having fun. Wasn't having fun. That's a tiny struggle. But I turned it over and allowed joy to fill my life. And so this is what Spirit said. Just speak from your heart. Read, first of all, pre-read before you get to teach it. I mean, you can't pre-read the thing and see. How about that? I mean, that's a tiny thing, but pre-read it and see what resonates. Then speak to what resonates. When I did that, what we were talking about, the questions that came up, is that mine? Oh, no, it's Siri. That's probably my phone. She's hearing me talk loud and going, what do you want? I want you to shut up. That's what I want right now. Shut it down. This is God talk. Okay, George, what do you want? All right. And that's how God is. What do you want? So that's what happened. I spoke. I found out what was resonating for me in the talk, in the words, and then spoke to that. And we just had a wonderful time. In fact, we spoke over the time that we needed, and that's what I will be doing. The tiniest of things. I wasn't having joy. I just turned it over to Spirit. And now I do. That's what we all get to do. It's not just my story. So how do we get to turn over dreariness, just little tiny struggles? Here's an excellent way. And this is like one of my favorite songs from Bing Crosby, like years ago. Doesn't he the one, Count Your Blessings? When you do out to sleep. Something about counting your blessings. So count your blessings. Instead of sleep. Right. So we know this song's a beautiful thing. We've been knowing this for a long time, but it really works well. Help someone else. Anybody. Anything. We can get to volunteer. This is so critical, this one right here. Sit with someone and listen to their story. You don't have to fix it. That's what we want to do, right? We hear somebody's story where we empathize, we want to come up with some sort of solution, but that's not necessarily what we're there to do. Sometimes it's just to let them tell their story and know that someone else hears them and is aware of their struggle right now. That is all. So just listening to someone's story. Be kind to someone else, especially loved ones. Do you know that I get these messages because I'm on Safe Haven's mailing list, you know, and battered spouses, not just women. Safe Haven takes care of women, but battered spouses are on the rise due to this shelter in place. So many people are at home with the kids, with their spouses. I mean, they have no relief, which sometimes going to work, going to school, it relieves you from that. So it's on the rise. There have been an increase in deaths from that. Our loved ones are the easiest people to not be kind to because they're just around all the time. We take, it's just that they're just there, and you don't even think to say thank you. For my sister, for instance, she cooks and she does so much, but it's just so nice to say, hey, love that meal, it was great. It wouldn't seem that she would do that because that's what she does, she cooks, but she doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be a good meal. Just to say thank you. We are around our tribe, and I've done this myself, assuming that because we're a New Thought tribe, that we think the same in many ways. And we do, but not in all ways. Not in all ways. And what we get to do in this space, to be kind, to be truly loving, is that we respect one another, and we respect one another's opinion. I talk about my sister all the time. She and I have such a great relationship, and we are both highly spiritual. We don't believe the same way. We believe the same thing, but not in the same way. So we don't discuss our religion together. We discuss our spirituality. We discuss prayers, we discuss manifestation, we discuss a number of things. We don't discuss our spirituality, or our religion, because we love one another, and we respect each other's rights to have a view different than our own. And I'll get around New Thought, and this is wrong. Assuming, it's the same thing as we do with blacks. Black people assume all black people are Democrats. It's not true. It's not true. There are a lot of black Republicans. We assume that because we're all in New Thought, we're all Democrats. We're not. We're not. We have the right to believe and have the opinion that we have. And so if someone, and here's the thing, here's what we know. Whoever is in office, half the country don't like them, right? Half the country, because half the country voted for someone else. At any given point, we either have a Democratic or we have a Republican office. Whatever it is, we have to honor one another's opinions about who they are and love them. And if we can't agree, just agree not to discuss it. Not to discuss it, but be okay with someone else's opinion. That's what we do for our loved ones, for our tribe. That's a kindness that we get to show, okay? That we get to do. That's what we believe. If that's in the pit of our core beliefs, that's what we do. So all these things that we do, loving one another, respecting one another, being kind, volunteering, counting your blessings, will remind you that you are loved, that we are connected, that we are one. So we declare our lives. We know daily. We affirm our lives and we declare our lives. I know, discover, declare, review my core values all the time. Not every day, but all the time. That's what I declare. I know them. I know what I believe. I know what my values are. That's a declaration. I live my core values. That's a declaration. And I take actions through the lens of my core values. That is a declaration. So how do we live this great life that we're talking about? How are we happy? And what are we in control of? Those things. Those things. Daily affirming. Because here's what happens, and daily declaring. Because here's what happens. When you declare it daily, you're reminded, and it goes in front of you. It goes before you in everything that you do. So we had a meditation practice the other day. It was about interconnectedness. And we have a meditation every morning at 7:30. Not everyone's up that early. That's okay, because I also put them up on the Facebook page. But this one was about interconnectedness, and it wanted us to see how we're all connected. In the end, what it asks us to do, and while I'm speaking the meditation, there's also silences, and so I get to kind of be in the meditation. And one of the things it asked was, think of something good that you did yesterday. Okay? Just think of something. It doesn't have to be big. It's not a big old thing. Could be that you smiled at somebody, that you forgave yourself, some small little discrepancy, you forgave it. Maybe you thanked somebody. Maybe you greeted someone warmly. Maybe you complimented somebody. But I want you to do that right now. Everyone, just take 30 seconds. Think about what you did yesterday that was good. Right now. "30 seconds seems like a short time. But when you're thinking or trying to think about something you did that was good, it becomes difficult. I had to retrace my steps. What exactly did I do? What did I go? And I was pleasantly surprised at how my core values showed up in every interaction that I had. And I could find wonderful things that happened. But here's the reason why you want to do that. We are so easily negative in our lives about what we've done. I didn't do enough. I didn't say the right thing. I wish I had. I wish I hadn't. This is going on in our minds all the time. But when we reflect on the good, we get to realize that we actually are good people. We are good people. And we get to live in joy. When you reflect on the good things that you have done, you get to live in joy and see that your life is actually joyous. I want to read something to you. This is something that I love how Spirit works. It's all a synchronicity. And as I was writing this talk, this came across my email from one of our members. And I want to read it to you because this is about walking in the presence because of how we feel out of control over the headlines that we keep reading on a regular basis. And this, in the way that I'm just going to read it to you because it was just beautiful. Seeing the world. Sometimes I just wanted to stop. This talk of COVID, protests, looting, brutality. I lose my way, become convinced that this new normal is real life. But then I met an 87-year-old who talks of living through polio, diphtheria, Vietnam, and protests, and yet is still enchanted with life. He seemed surprised when I said that 2020 must be especially challenging for him. No, he said, slowly looking me straight in the eye. I learned a long time ago not to see the world through the printed headlines. I see the world through the people that surround me. I see the world with the realization that we love big. I just choose to write my own headlines. Husband loves wife today. Family drops everything to come to grandma's bedside. He patted my hand and said, "Old man makes a new friend." His words collide with my worries, freeing them from the tether, holding them tight to me. They float away, and I am left with a renewed spirit. My headline now reads, "Woman overwhelmed by the spirit of kindness," and the reminder that our capacity to love is never ending. It never ends. I wanted you to know that because the headlines can be scary. But we get to read our own headlines and make our own headlines. And that's why every day we affirm and declare what is true for us. We look around our lives and make our own headlines because that is our lives. So first and foremost, how do we have this? How do we have control of our lives? How do we walk in the presence of God? We remember what we believe. There is only one presence. There is only one power. There is only one providence source. We are connected. I am because we are. We co-create our lives by declaring and claiming, and then we allow God to get it done. That's what we do. And how does that hold us? Walking in the presence of God is walking knowing that we are loved and love. We have big love. We are guided and directed into right thinking and right action about everything. There's nothing too small or too large. Nothing. Infinite intelligence makes the way perfect, plain, and immediate. We are happy to the degree that we feel in control of our lives. So write your own headlines. That gives you the control. Write your own life story. No one gets to tell their story but you. They can tell you their story. They can't tell you yours. You tell the story. What's your story? Declare your life every moment of every day. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen. Namaste.
Wow, wonderful message. It's time for our giving and receiving, and part of that message was, what is mine to do, and how can I be helpful to others? And there are so many ways. As a psychotherapist, I've told hundreds of clients experiencing depression. Research shows the best antidepressant is being of service. So, and even in today's, the difficulty in the world, there are so many things that we can do to be of service to other people. So keep that in mind. So if you want to contribute, and we do have bills to pay, you can text 84321. That's one way to do it. Or you can go onto the Harmony website and hit the button to contribute. And we would, greatly appreciate that. So we can keep this going and putting this message of inclusiveness and love and out to the world, because we so need it at this time. So if you, with me, we'll say our prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. And now we're fixing to be blessed again with Hale Baskin.
I know that you know this one. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see 'em bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, they're also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, they are so pretty in the sky. They're also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? I know what they're saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world, yes. Then I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you.
What a wonderful world, and Hale just made it even more wonderful. Thank you. Sweet, sweet Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for the gifts that we receive in so many ways. And these gifts that we receive here, we also put back into the community. We believe in tithing, and we tithe back to the community. So, with that being said, I think it's
time
Carter's
for the
up.
Facebook chat and the announcements. So we have a variety of folks who've been on Facebook Live watching our stream going on, and they really appreciated your message, PJ. So Kathleen's on, Carlin, Allison, John Jeffries is on, Sandy's on. We got folks here as well. Terry's got some folks she sees.
I see Gary Payne's on here. Hi, Gary. Steve Mark is on there. Sandy Dornan is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sandy Dornan.
Doran.
Dinkins.
A.K.A. Mrs. Ken. And Janeth Kendall's, Peter Rooney. We love to see you guys.
That's right. And don't forget, on the website, you can find all kinds of fun stuff coming up. We have classes. PJ's class still going on Wednesdays. Is that?
Okay, so
Tuesdays, Love and Lunch at 1.
Wednesdays on the second Wednesdays and the fourth Wednesday, Cooking with Honey Pat.
Right. Second and fourth Wednesdays, Cooking with Honey Pat.
Yes.
If you love Pat's food, this is a chance to find out more.
Thursdays
location is very important
Thursdays
on
at
that. I
6
gotta
o'clock,
interrupt.
Lessons in Truth.
Yeah, we just to say something.
Yeah.
Pat's food is really, really good. Okay,
Yes.
we happen to live next door to them, so food came delivered. Basically, It was give us back the tray.
That's right.
And we have food for a week. And that was, oh man, it was so good. I'm still eating it. Oh, it is so good. Anyway,
Okay.
watch it
So-
so you can do that at home.
So we also have a Thursday.
Thursday, 6 o'clock.
Foundations in Truth, 7 o'clock. We
6
have the-
o'clock. Is it?
Sorry, 6 o'clock. Y'all are right. And the daily meditation. Every other Thursday at 10:30, we have book club. So, won't be this Thursday, be the following Thursday. You guys, we have all these opportunities. So don't forget, stay in touch with us, stay on top of your emails and keep up and check Facebook. And there's lots of things that you can do to stay involved, both with Harmony, and there's lots of other opportunities out there to stay involved. Plenty of free classes, free seminars, wonderful things out there. This is the time to explore on the internet, find more of our tribe out there doing things you're interested in. So, all right.
Okay.
And turn it over.
Yeah. So we have some birthdays to celebrate. On Tuesday, on the 23rd, Carolyn Stroud had a birthday.
Woo!
Rebecca had a birthday yesterday.
Woo!
And tomorrow, Carla Harling has a birthday. So,
I think
oh, wait, hold
I
on.
have
wait.
a celebration
Wait, hold
too.
on, wait.
Garrett, hey.
Woo!
I can't hear. What's that?
Garrett Whitney.
Garrett Whitney had a birthday. Happy birthday. It may
I don't
not
have
be
it
on
on the
David's
birthday
list.
list.
26, you can put them on now. June
I
26th.
I have a celebration.
Wait a minute. Hale,
Hale.
first.
Hale's birthday's on
All right,
Thursday.
congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Okay.
So that's in July.
My birthday is coming up next Saturday, too. For that.
Ooh, Carter, happy birthday. Can we get, are we beyond the birthdays?
Next
I have
week.
another celebration.
We're beyond the birthdays.
I have a celebration. 24 years today, on a Friday night, I married this man.
Aw.
And I never have regretted it. Woo! He has taught me so much about how to love. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a celebration. This morning, Terry decided to renew the contract.
We don't social distance.
Yes,
Not
Venice.
at home anyway.
I have a couple of things. Phil Walthall is looking for a new place to live. His place is being sold, so if you know of any reasonably priced places to live.
Okay,
No,
let me
I'm going to say that.
Yeah, let's repeat it.
So, because, it's not coming through. Phil Walthall is looking for a place to live. So if somebody knows of a place, just let us know at Harmony, and we'll get the information to him.
Thank you.
And what's the other one, Venice?
Okay, the other one is
Who is yours?
July 2nd, this Friday, is the 56th anniversary of the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. After having been filibustered by Democrats for 75 days a record, it was finally passed. So we're very grateful.
All
Okay,
right,
you said
yay.
July 2nd?
Yeah.
July 2nd.
Okay, that would be Thursday.
Right. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
The Civil Rights Act.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, the celebration would be Thursday, not Friday.
We get
That's
to
all.
celebrate.
So repeat it on the
Yes,
mic.
Okay. Is there a celebration?
She's celebrating that,
That.
happened.
Okay. Venice is celebrating the Civil Rights Act.
Go ahead.
We invite you all to
All right.
celebrate the Civil Rights Act.
What Venice said is the Civil Rights Act is being celebrated. July 2nd is the anniversary of it. So we all celebrate it. We also celebrate that we are still moving forward with a lot more to go. Okay? Because at Harmony Spiritual Center, we are inclusive, and we believe every human being is worthy of being treated with dignity and respect.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
And I'm so glad to see some faces I haven't seen in a while. I love you guys. I'm just sorry. I'm just saying because I missed artists so much, and I missed Jim and Hale. It's good to see you back. I hear that Igor is in the market for a car.
Yes, yes.
So contact somebody, and we can get in touch with Igor if you need it. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
And also next week, Jim will be speaking next week.
Yay.
So with that, we'll do our closing prayer and our closing song. Sweet, sweet Spirit, Mother, Father, God, love that percolates inside of us and we let it flow out to others. And then we are open to receiving love from others. As we go about our week, let's think about what's the next right thing I can do? What's the next kind thing I can do? What act of love can I do? Can each one of us do? We are so grateful and we are so blessed to have love, to be loved, to be loved. So it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
I have one more celebration. Ken had a successful surgery this past Monday. And yeah. So, I mean, I need to remember that because he's doing great with the circumstances. So, and we affirm that he is healed.
Yep.
Amen.
Whole and complete.
Okay. All right, please join us for a closing song.
Come on, rise up. We're going to move a little bit.
That's right.
Oh, he's claiming 70 more years.
There you go.
It's going to be a great day, a great week.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Have a great week. Bless each
Share your
other.
love every day.
Share it. Touch someone through the phone, through Facebook.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs. Hey, you can even write a letter these days. The Postal Service is working. Yes. Use that stationery that your grandmother gave you a long time ago. Print your own stamps. When you're printing, well, if you have there is such a thing as longhand. You may want to teach that to your children. Longhand. It's not a long hand. It's actually script. Igor, that is script.